If given a choice, would you intern at a startup or a large company? Hey everyone, my name is Kajal and welcome to my channel. Today's video is an interview with Shalini. She's a graduate student of data science at UC Berkeley and a fellow YouTuber. In this interview, she talks about her internship experience as a data science intern at a startup, a mid-sized company, and a large corporation. I have included all of the timings in the description below. So without further ado, let's get into it. Why don't we start with an introduction? Shalini, can you tell us a little bit about you?
Hey everyone, my name is Shalini. I recently just graduated from UC Berkeley back in May, class of 2020, where I studied statistics, data science, and computer science. And I'm an incoming student into the 5th year Masters of Information and Data Science program there, also known as the MIDS program.
Also, everyone, Shalini is a YouTuber too. Go check out her channel. I'll put it in the description below. So tell us a little bit about what lectures at Berkeley look like.
For computer science, the intro classes are huge. I think the first intro class, which is CS61A, where you learn Python basics, is over 1,000, maybe 2,000 people in the class per semester. It's so huge. So that was definitely a new experience because I was used to like 30-person classes in high school, and that was one of my first classes I took at Berkeley. So that was an interesting experience. But yeah, that's kind of how the lectures were for CS classes. For my stats classes, they were a lot smaller. I think stats is a much smaller major. So it was a little more personable. I got to know almost everyone in the class as well.
Did you do any internships and what was that experience like?
Yeah, so throughout the 4 years in college, I got to do 3 different internships. All of them were data science related, and they were all different company sizes as well, which was really nice because I got to see how data science played into different company sizes and also different field. Each of the companies were in different areas. So the first one I was at was a startup related to travel fintech. So I really got to work on a lot of different areas across the whole data science pipeline, which was a really great experience to learn more about like what happened in a real company, kind of like putting out fires in different places. I think that's kind of like the startup vibe, not like one defined role or project, but really just a bunch of projects, all different places based on what the company needs. So my second internship was kind of the complete opposite. It was at LinkedIn, a networking platforms. And that's also very well developed. It's been around for a while. That was a kind of a complete difference. It was still a really good experience, just like a different experience than the startup vibe, because here there was like a very defined structure of data science and a very defined project I was working on. So, and I got to learn about big data tools and like inside tools used within the company. Once again, like exposed me to different tools that data scientists use. And then the last one, the most recent one, was at Quizlet. This one was really interesting too because I used it in high school. So it was really interesting being on the user side in high school and then going behind the scenes and like looking at the data in college as an intern. In terms of company size, that was kind of in the middle of startup and large established company, a few hundred people. In general, all of them were completely different, but I learned so much from all of them. It just really showed me how data science can really be applied to any field. Like all 3 of them were completely different areas, and also just the breadth of data science, like whether it's like more data engineering or data analytics, science, models, like visualizations. There are like different definitions of data science. So I kind of got to explore that through all 3 of these internships.
That's really amazing. When you're at a startup, it's about just putting out fires, putting on different hats, and doing whatever needs to be done. And then as you go to a corporate where, everything's well established, you are in a completely different atmosphere. And it's amazing that you have had this range of experiences. So if I were to ask you, which one would you pick for a full-time position, or, in your early career? Would you go for corporates or startup? What would your view be?
That's a good question, and I'm not completely sure which one. I think there's pros and cons to both of them. With a startup, there's a lot of potential to learn a lot very quickly just because you're kind of just put into the startup life and like putting out fires like we've both said. I think there's a lot of potential to just like learn different skills quickly, work on a lot of different projects versus a larger company. You might have like a specific like defined area or project that you're working on. But I think also with the larger company, there's obviously like more people there, so more opportunity for mentorship and meeting more people. There's like pros and cons to both of them. I'm still trying to decide like where exactly like what field I'm interested in and like what to do after my master's, but we'll see.
Yeah, sure. No, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No,
But yeah, each one has its own pros and cons, and you can pick whatever eventually you would want to do. So my last question to you is, if there was one advice that you could give your younger self, maybe before you started UC Berkeley, what would that be?
So first, like college is kind of what you make of it. So take advantage of all the different resources that are available. Really just like network with as many people as you can, learn from them. I think there's always opportunities to learn and also just like taking risks. So one of my role models is Reshma Saujani, who is actually the founder of Girls Who Code, which is this organization that I was a part of in high school that tries to reduce the gender gap in tech fields. She recently wrote a book and she has a podcast called Brave Not Perfect. She like has a really great TED Talk, which I definitely recommend watching. That's like one of the things that she says, be brave, not perfect. So I think that's another piece of advice I would also give my past self. Take risks, be brave, don't be afraid to do new things, get out of your comfort zone, because I think that's also how you learn and grow. Just like don't focus on perfection, but focus on just like doing new things, getting out there, taking risks.
Yeah, that's great advice. It's from your failures and mistakes that you learn the most. So don't try to be perfect. Just try and explore as much as you can. Once again, thank you, Shalini, for doing this. And everyone, please do go check out her channel. And thank you so much for watching this video. Have a great day. See you next time.
Thank you so much, Kajal.